Bonjour, monsieur. Au revoir.
Grüß Gott, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take you with me on my trip from Austria to South Africa along the West African side. First of all, Austria is not to confuse with Australia.
Austria, no kangaroos, no Australia, Austria. Austria. Yeah, Australia, okay.
I started in October, in the middle of October, and directly jumped to Italy and got the ferry to Morocco. And I knew from the beginning that Morocco will only be like transit country. I only checked out an old shipwreck there, and my phone had a problem.
This is the ship that once connected Morocco and the Canary Islands. But I have a different problem. My second phone stopped working. This is like my GPS phone. And yeah, it's now useless. Useless like this ship behind us. J'ai un problème avec mon phone. Tell me where to go. Yeah. Okay, merci. Shukran. I'm so lost.
Right. Right.
Yeah, okay, well, thank you.
The police officer who told me where to go to the next city and find a shop, the first question he asked,
How much? Show me. Did you fix it?
It was another problem. It works.
The brightness was low.
It was my fault.
You thought that is broken.
That's the yeah. So I'm really happy. But thank you. Shukran.
With a lot of presents.
Okay.
Okay. Have a nice road and nice trip.
Shukran. Goodbye.
Later that day, I met Oliver, and he was on his bicycle. And I can tell you one thing, those people with their bicycles, don't underestimate them. They can do a lot of mileage. And of course, I'm way faster, so I did a little bit of scouting, and I gave him a signal where we will meet. I put myself into a full gear so that I look a little bit more like a local, and I think it should be spottable. I made myself a little camp here, and in the distance I saw him, and yeah, he made it in time. Way more professional than I am. He has onions. I simply have this, you know, I don't know how to call it, and my other kitchen, and I'm really looking forward to have a great meal this night, not alone. Sometimes it's really nice to have company and someone to talk to. And the next day I continued. I made it relatively close to the border, but decided not to cross it when it's dark. So I found a little house, an abandoned one, or just a hut, and I prefer a massive structure 10 times over a simple tent, or at least put the tent under a massive structure. It also makes it way more comfortable. And the next day at the border, they took away my drone because they don't like drones, and this cost me probably half a day. And when I left Morocco, someone was already waiting for me at the Mauritanian border.
Hey, who are you?
Passport da carte grise.
Who are you?
Le passeport da carte grise.
Who are you?
Oui, attends, ça le fait. Oui, attends. Passport.
Those guys, they, I don't know, help you to get through because it's quite unorganized to get from A to B because you don't know where you have to go. But I managed it on my own and made it through all those little checkpoints. And I think at one point I had to pay a bribe. You never know if is it an official thing you have to pay, or is it, yeah, however. I made it out, and because the Moroccan border took so long, I found a lost place somewhere and put up my shelter for the night. I also saw this train coming towards me. It's a kind of a famous one because a lot of people go to Mauritania to ride this train. It's like a coal train, and you can sit in the back on the wagons and yeah, make some fancy pictures. But unfortunately, I had no time for this. I was looking for petrol, and I knew that there's not a lot of petrol available. And at one gas station, I met a guy, Guillaume. It's like Wilhelm, or in English, William. And he was a Frenchman married to a Burkina Faso woman. And those people are gold because they have way better information how things really are. And he said, like, yeah, you can go to the cities, but avoid countryside, stick to the big roads, but it's risky. And it helps you to get a really good picture. And I met later on a guy, and he was kidnapped in Niger. At those places he recommended me not to go. I made it to Nouakchott, and with about 1 liter left in my fuel canister. And yes, of course you get fuel, but then it's way more expensive than on a usual gas station. In Nouakchott there is a place called Tachit Vacances. Yeah, pardon my French. It is a very famous overlander place, and there I met some overlanders. It's close to the beach, beautiful, can take a swim. And I also made a short trip into Nouakchott, and was kind of messy, but nothing compared to what is yet to come. Shortly after that, I arrived at the border to Senegal, and I remembered that I didn't want to pay the bribe at the Mauritanian border. So maybe therefore he didn't open me the barrier, and I was waiting there, and I figured out I have to find my own way out.
Das ist nix. Police? Ah. Die, yeah. I'm happy that my little escape plan didn't bring me into trouble. I'm just relaxing in no man's land, eating this gurke. And to my right side there is the Mauritanian border, and to the left side there is the Senegalese border. Policeman at the border, last checkpoint, wanted to have 10 euros. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna look for it. And then I only had an old backpack with an old one, with the peeling of it already looked really disgusting. And then he said, you know what, go. Yeah, I'll enjoy this one and get a little energy, and then enter Senegal.
And at the border I met Simon, and we teamed up and drove to Saint Louis to get some cash and petrol. And St. Louis is a beautiful city. There's a lot of water, there's a big lagoon in front that protects it from the sea.
How much fuel you got left?
Stadium. There's a money exchange.
We didn't find cash, I think petrol, but there was also a football game going on. People had self-made elevations to look over the fence lines to see what was going on at the football stage. We arrived at the Zebra Bar very late, which is also a very famous place for overlanders. It's run by 2 Swiss guys, Martin and Ursula. I think they spent more than 2 decades already down there. And there I had my first doubts. There's a lot of money at stake, and also even more uncertainty. Till this point you only got the visas on arrival, so it was relatively easy. But from now on you had to go to embassies or e-visas, so it's more of an uncertainty. And Simon asked me, when do you ever think you have the chance to do this again? And he was absolutely right. So I went to the top of the watchtower, because there you had a little bit of internet and nice side effect, beautiful view, with Emil, and we did our applications for Guinea. And meanwhile, I went with Dean and Annabelle. They had a big truck. They were like tour guides. We went through the old town of Saint Louis, and it's really nice to have people that show you exactly where to go, where the cool stuff is. And I'm absolutely not jealous driving around a big truck in an African city, in a city in general probably. A few days later I got the visa, and I said goodbye to the Zebra Bar and went directly to Dakar. Beautiful name, a lot of jammed roads, so I went to the very western point, ate a burger, 60 minutes, I was already gone, and went for the Guinea border. One place there were a lot of spiders in the air, even so down that I could catch them with my helmet, and they were quite big, so I was lucky that I didn't pick up one. At the border they gave me 5 days, otherwise I would have had to go to the capital, which is Conakry, and then they put my e-visa into my passport, but I didn't want to go to the big cities, so I stick to the 5 days. First of all, I was looking for a place where I can make an oil change.
Since the standards here are not that high anyway, I think it shouldn't be a problem. I mean, oil is simply on the ground, so yeah. Okay, come with me. Man, you speak English. It's okay for you on being video as well?
Yes.
Okay, finally we found someone who speaks English. I want to change the oil here, but I want to get rid of it. I want to do the oil change myself, but only get rid of the oil. Monsieur, parlez-vous anglais?
Vale.
No, no anglais, huh? Okay. So weit, so gut. Das heißt, ich glaube, das meiste Öl ist heraus. But I prefer to go only. I just tried to put this plug onto this thing, and this guy has it all on camera. Okay. Monsieur, mesdames, merci beaucoup pour le camera. Le oil change. Okay, should work. Me, classic white bread. I'm from Austria, so I love black bread. This is kind of a pain, but it's better than nothing. You know what I mean? Au revoir. Merci. Ciao, ciao.
I'm doing every day a shower with 1 liter of water, but after a few days, it's really nice to have a lot of water to wash yourself.
I was hoping to get access to the water here, to have a little shower and wash my clothes. Oh, it looks like a good place. Like a wise man once said, always prepare yourself for leaving in case of shit hits the fan. I was searching the whole day for a place to wash myself, and finally I found some good place. Never seen a spider like this. Maybe you have and can tell me if it's poisonous. And it smells like iron. Okay, we have a guest incoming. Bonjour, monsieur. Yeah. Police?
Passport.
I'm pretty sure he was no policeman, and then he disappeared, and I thought, okay, he's gone now, I have to leave immediately.
As soon as we're back on the road, we should be faster than him. This felt almost like a chase. Maybe you've played Need for Speed Most Wanted, the first one, awesome game. Then you gotta find a hiding spot, which I did right now. Whew. So I gotta check if everything is still here, or if I forgot something. The washings are still in the cooking pot. What do we have? 1 t-shirt, 2 socks, and 1 balaclava. Great.
A few K down the road, I found a place where I got some food.
Okay, then. Merci. We have some rice with fish, and don't ask me what the green thing is. And it's the first time I got this water to drink.
Voila!
Yeah.
And they totally ripped me off, but I should have asked in advance, it's beginner's mistake. And I also started to enjoy powder milk. I would never drink this in Austria because I prefer bottled milk, but in Africa, especially in combination with sugar, cornflakes, that's good start in the day. In general, I have to say Guinea was awesome because the average altitude was way higher and there were a lot of green, tall trees with shadow protection, so it was just easier for the body to travel through, but it was a slow moving process because a lot of roads were full of potholes or they were muddy or there was construction, police checkpoints, you get it. But I arrived exactly in time after 5 days at the border to Côte d'Ivoire, or also called Ivory Coast. The first thing that happened to me in Ivory Coast was that the police pulled me over and told me that I have not enough pressure in my front tire. I don't know why I didn't notice myself, but they were absolutely right, and I organized myself a stick. And this stick, I carried almost 2000 K with me because I didn't find time to fix the problem. I mean, it did hold the pressure for some while, but not eternally. I arrived in Yamoussoukro, and surprisingly, there is one of the biggest basilicas existing on this planet. And I went into it and they told me, you're not allowed to take any pictures. Everyone was taking pictures, but not me. So you have to be happy with the pictures from outside the fence. I also ran almost out of gas. I couldn't find a gas station, but there was a gentleman who was helping me.
Ah?
J'ai cherché essence.
Essence, oui, oui.
Here?
Yo, combien de litres?
One more, like 5 in total, yeah?
Ah, merci. Merci. Goodbye.
With this, I had enough fuel to go to Abidjan, the capital city. I had to stay there for a few days because the procedure for getting the Ghana visa is not online or not only. You also need to go to the embassy, take some time. Paid about 20 to 30 bucks for the accommodation, which is quite a lot for my budget, but it was one of the cheapest I could find. So Abidjan is quite an expensive place.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Good news, we got the Ghana visa, so we're heading to the border right now. Bonjour, monsieur. Let's go. By the way, this is how the sky looks, but I think we'll go on the other side too.
When you drive too slow and it rains, then the drops are input on your GPS device.
We're gonna go to the airport. Shit.
One time the way out was blocked, not for me because I have a thin thumper that makes it quite easy, but I still couldn't get there in time because in the nighttime they closed the border in between Côte d'Ivoire and Ghana. The next day I entered Ghana and the first destination was Kosa Beach. I got the wrong way at the beginning. But somehow I ended up at this beautiful resort. It's very cliche. There are palms, beaches, very good food. So I had, for a very short time, a carefree life. But this ended again on the next day. And I continued to Accra. I stopped at Elmina, built by the Portuguese, then the Dutch and the English fought for it. And a little bit further on is Cape Coast. It's another fortification, definitely worth visiting. But this time I developed already a habit of driving in the dark in Africa, which is not something I would recommend, but it just happened somehow. Usually you would expect a lot of the big, bulky cars would drive by night, but it's more the opposite. I saw some really big transporting machines. I don't know, I would say they looked like rockets, but they were probably only big containers. There were a lot of people on the road fixing the potholes. They were armed with the shovels and hoping for some cash in return. And some roads were simply closed and you had no idea where to go. So it was simply go with the flow and figure it out yourself. I also had my absolutely best coconut before I left the country.
Oh, beautiful, like a pro. Okay, learn something. Wow. So this was the best so far, and it was even for free. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
There are two little countries, Togo and Benin, and they're so relaxing. And in Togo I met Kessia and Leon, and we had best pasta in town. In Benin, I had a lot of work to do because I wanted the Nigeria visa, and therefore you need to jump through a lot of hoops. So you need an ID card from Benin, a recommendation letter, a guarantor, a lot of things, and that takes time. And also the lady at the embassy was giving me a hard time. I really had the feeling she didn't want to give it at all, the visa out to people, but she took the extra money. So yeah, that explains maybe why she was a little bit on the rough side. I also met Kisia again. We did a little bit of sightseeing, saw some snakes, hopped on those bike taxis, and they're really good with the JIT, just-in-time management. So whenever they need something, they just buy it. Very efficient. Kisia, do you know what you told me back then? Because I don't have it on record. However, we drove back on a butcher's work car.
It really smells hard. But however, yeah.
The next day, I had finally the time to fix my front tire. So the stick I carried from Ivory Coast to Benin was useful. With that, I was almost ready to go. And suddenly I felt high, I felt great. And I knew this is not normal. So I asked Ian what I should do, because Ian met a guy, I met guys, those guys met and they connected us, if this makes sense. He was ill before, so he said, go to the hospital, take a blood test. And he had malaria, and so did I, what they told me after the blood test. And it was a very basic hospital, but those people, they were awesome. I really felt that they cared for me. And I mean, I was alone. At some point, Simon came back and made a supply run.
Oh, water. Oh, that's 10 liters. Yay.
After a little bit more than 1 week, I was through with malaria. And I wasn't really fit, but I wasn't ill anymore. So I started to prepare myself for continuing my travels. First of all, I needed new brakes, and I didn't get new ones, so I had to refit the old one. I came to a guy and he knocked off the old braking pads, sandpapered them, cut out new brake pads, put a lot of glue on both sides, used a lot of pressure and heat, and sandpapered them again because they were quite thick at the beginning, till the point where I had almost new braking pads. I still have them. I'm gonna show it to you. I did approximately 15,000 kilometers before I had to replace them again. And you see here there is some glue. I think if you buy them new, there is not a glue in this hole. It looks more like this, but then without the hole. The other side, there you also can see there's a lot of glue everywhere. But yeah, he did a great job. And in the end, I rewarded myself with some fufu. I also picked up my prepared visa for Nigeria. And when the lady saw me, she asked, where have you been? And I told her, well, sorry, I had malaria. And suddenly she said like, oh, you poor boy, you have malaria. And she was so nice to me, and I didn't understand the world. I still don't know what was going on there. However, I said, thank you for the visa, goodbye. Entering Nigeria was also a little bit like Morocco, Mauritania. It was a different level, you felt it immediately. So there were a lot of fixers, but this time I was a little bit more experienced.
Give on shot. No, you can't go there, no chance. Enter that side. Enter there. Back here. No chance here, my friend.
And also the traffic was ruthless, and there were a lot of checkpoints. So you've been at one checkpoint, then you saw the next checkpoint, and you already saw the next checkpoint after the next checkpoint.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you? A lot of stop.
This is Nigeria. As you can see, we mount checkpoints everywhere because
Okay.
of people like you. Welcome.
Thank you. Okay.
How are you?
Oh,
you
I'm
doing?
fine, thank you.
Where are you coming from?
I'm from Benin, Austria,
Where are you going?
Lagos.
You're going to Lagos?
Maybe. There's like stop.
How's the road?
We will see.
No problem.
Okay.
Take care.
Thank you. Yeah, police, yeah.
Didn't give me an easy time. Somehow I still made it to Lagos, and there it got even worse.
Okay. Better, okay?
Yeah. Wow. I think it was Saturday in the morning when I left the city, and outside the city the checkpoint madness began again.
Whoa.
You see, man?
Yes.
You give me now?
What?
You give me water.
Water. I need my
yeah.
water myself.
Are you yourself?
Yeah.
Okay. You.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Take care. Small more.
Thank you. Hello.
How you doing?
Check.
Yeah, from where?
I am from Austria.
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 Going to where?
Benin City. Yes.
All right. Bye.
Okay.
Have a nice day, okay?
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Bye. Good day, sir.
Oh, but where are we doing? You make your book, you.
You wanna hit me or
Hey,
give me a high
you
five?
do like
High
this, come
five!
on,
No,
come
you
on.
give me a high five. Check.
What do you have for me?
We
What
have for me.
What do you have for me?
I need everything myself.
No, they have something for me.
No, I need it
Exactly.
myself. I'm
No,
a simple man.
You're a simple one. Say
No,
something
no,
for me.
no. I need it myself.
Have something for me. Me.
No, I need it myself.
You
I'm
need to say,
hungry.
What happened? Hungry?
I'm hungry.
Me from Germany, no, you
you
come
have
from
food for-
Nigeria.
do you have-
And you do this? Oh, you have something for me? Are you, man? Go.
I go. Okay. See ya. Bye bye. Oh. You see the friendly people everywhere.
I was never forced to give someone something, and I always said, hey, sorry, I need all my stuff myself. Sometimes I ask the people, hey, what do you have for me in return? I can need water or food, I'm hungry. But they were nice, they were friendly, sometimes funny, but it's exhausting over the whole day, running into a lot of checkpoints and always have these interactions and never knowing where it will lead you. And at some point I crossed the Niger, which is the third biggest river in Africa after the Nile and the Congo. And then I knew, okay, I have approximately half of Nigeria behind me, and my planning is very rudimental. So I look on Google Maps where to go, and I just drove along this route. And at some point there was a checkpoint, and I didn't see that it was a checkpoint. And suddenly people were pointing their guns at me, and I was like, oh.
And
That is why we are here. That's why we are here, to ensure that nobody falls the victim.
Yeah. A lot of problems.
Big problems.
Okay.
Big problems. Kidnapping,
Yeah.
adoption, and once they see you, they want to let you go.
Yeah. And it's over. Okay. So, yeah. Sorry guys, I had no clue, yeah.
Okay.
I just saw guns, okay. Okay, bye.
It turned out that I just cannot go there. So I had to reroute my planning, and I went up north, which was also cool because this is the reason why I came to the Trill Ranch, which you will see in a minute. So I got on the way some baked beans. They were really delicious.
We have here a little bit of egg and beans. Wonderful. Let's give it a try. After me, people were storming this restaurant, and it's understandable because the beans were awesome. So I'll get myself my little can and get some more food for later. Thank you. I just oh, the spoon is gone. It's hot. Come on. Yeah. Secured.
You see, food is very important. Then to a checkpoint with really nice police officers.
No, you're laughing. This is serious. People get.
We get children here. We born 12. We born 10. We born. I have 5. I want to go to the country.
You follow me?
Yeah.
You gotta be fast if you want to follow me.
Bought some petrol and water.
Petrol, no diesel.
It all passed me.
It's food for my Machinska. 10,000, yeah.
Yeah, but
And now we have 500, and I think we're both happy. Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you. Do you sell water? Austria, no kangaroos, no Australia, Austria. Go, okay, see you, bye. Bye, thank you.
Touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Because you are not used to it.
And now in the nose? Don't know, but I feel very, yeah. Thank you, goodbye, bye. Bye.
At one point there was a goat on the top of a car, and I've seen a lot of crazy stuff tied on cars, around cars, like people, animals, stuff. The people were not tied, they were like freestanding. But this goat was also freestanding. It was the only thing that was on top of it. And the crazy thing for me was that all the other people were the same opinion like me. They were like, hey, this is not how it's supposed to be. And then I slowly got deeper and deeper into the jungle till the point when I arrived at the drill range.
Hello. Thank you.
How are you?
Oh, fine. How are you? I'm Luke.
Luke, nice to meet you.
So I obviously made it to the place, and I'm really curious because I have no clue about monkeys and yeah, what is a drill ranch actually. They showed me a place for my tent, and I'm gonna stay here for 2 nights and figure things out.
First question, what is actually a drill ranch? And a drill ranch is, I think something like a farm, and drills are actually monkeys. It's a sort of monkeys. Those are drill monkeys. We're gonna see them later in real life. And they also have chimpanzees, and this is a gorilla, but they don't have them here. And worldwide there are like only about 2,000 drill monkeys alive, and 600 of them are here. So it's quite an important place for drill monkeys here. And this is kind of the main area. We are right now off the camp. So you can see right here, this is like the main shed. So people can cook here, and they will also have like, it's more of a social place. Back there is the veterinary's place, and right now they have an ill chimpanzee there, and they try to make him feel as comfortable as possible. There are some tool storage. I think this is for chemicals. And at the very left here, we see a big cooking place. And I asked myself, why do they need such a big cooking place? Because they have a lot of places for the chimpanzees and for the drill monkeys, but they are too small to feed them within this little area. So they have to get a lot of food from outside, cook it, and bring it within those high voltage areas. We also have some machinery here. Those are like 1, 2, 3 old Land Rover Defenders, and they got them from Germany. There's actually a 4th one. So what they did is
They took the 4 and combined them to 2. So they have now 2 drive-in Land Rover Defenders. And if you think this one looks demolished, then you gotta wait for the other one. And the 4th one is right behind me. Right now they're on. Okay, you can already hear some noises. I'm curious which kind of monkeys those are.
She was being raised, she was being kept by a politician. And when she was young,
but I'm not into monkeys that much, but into Land Rover Defenders or Land Cruisers, yeah, in cars in general. And Fabienne and Sophie fixed them, and I enjoyed watching them working on their machinery.
There is shit everywhere. This is... Yes, not good, Sophie, but we have to try, we have no choice.
Wow. And you even greased it so that it...
I greased it 3 months ago.
It doesn't look new anymore.
No, no.
How successful are you right now?
Yes, you arrived.
He's so optimistic. I love it.
After a few nights at the drill range, I decided to leave towards the Cameroon border. And I had a little bit of yam on the way there, which is a great substitute for potatoes. Also, people were a little bit curious and we had a little photo shooting. And this border region between Cameroon and Nigeria is one of the highlights of the whole route to South Africa. There are no paved roads, a lot of dirt roads. And at some point you have so many options that I didn't look at the map anymore. I just drove around because it was so much fun. I got lost and didn't take the recommended route, but I think that was one of the best things that happened to me. So I ended up on single trails like routes. At one point, a family with 3 kids came up. I think they couldn't go past me very easily, so they had to hop off. But it's incredible how those little bikes bring people everywhere. There was another place where 2 kids were next to a river crossing, and I looked at them and said, "C'est bon? Is it good?" And they were small kids and said, "Yeah, yeah."
Bonjour. C'est good bon? Dit le son.
In the end, they were right. I arrived in Banyo, had one of my most disgusting accommodations. There were dead cockroaches. I really asked myself, what do those people think when they sell a room like this? Because it wasn't that cheap. It was still $10. I mean, sleeping in my tent would be a nicer, cleaner area. However, it was difficult to get petrol. And I think that's because it's regulated. Like they say, the government tells the people, well, there is a certain price on it, but it's on the market value. So as soon as the gas station is filled up with gasoline, all the people come and sell it later on the black market for a higher price.
So good guys, preparing now some fuel for me. I think this is 5 liter, 5 liter.
However, I got my petrol from the sidewalk. It was also very notable that the Chinese are building roads all over Africa, especially in Cameroon. Reading the comments about this road between Tibati and Yaoundé, this was a mess before the Chinese came. So when I was there, they were in the middle of building it. By now, it's probably perfect paved road and it makes it easier for the people to go from A to B. Maybe it's a toll road, but still it's better having the option than not having the option at all. I arrived the same day in Yaoundé. I didn't look forward driving around in Yaoundé, and it got dark before I got to my accommodation. But the next day I went to a mechanic shop and I met two German guys.
Servus, grüß Gott, guten Morgen.
Traveling with their Mercedes Langhaube, and they gave me cheese and butter. I felt like a king. Next day I said goodbye to Sabine and Thomas and drove towards the Congolese border, and that was a little bit weird because the Cameroon border was very small, the Congolese border was very small. Only in between there were a lot of big unused newish houses, but it was all empty. Don't know why. In Congo the roads were really good. Only a few muddy sections with a little bit with small potholes. The only problem was the greenery was really growing fast into the streets. I think they had a hard time to cut the greenery back. It was around Christmas time and there were hardly any checkpoints. I slept somewhere near the road, and I remember that night my tent was full with moths. Could hear a lot of strange noises. I was just hoping, please, I don't want to see a gorilla or something like that. And no one woke me up. And at the very west, I arrived Point Noir at the Atlantic Ocean, and I thought, oh goddamn, not again, big city. And the road was in bad condition, and it rained a little bit before I came there, but I had a lot of space to squeeze through, so it was absolutely okay. There I made an oil change, I got new tires, and I was really happy to have a good accommodation for me and also my bike, because there were some heavy rain storms going on. When I left Point Noir, I encountered engine problems again, and when I opened the throttle, there was no power delivery anymore.
I can push it, yeah. I can push it. Okay.
So just to put under the shade from the rain.
He's leaving now, and he's gifting me credits. Yeah, thank you so much. I think actually I'm a really lucky man.
And he also called mechanic.
Okay, mon français est très petit. Fuel. Oui, je comprends. Attends.
This guy fixed my problem. I could have continued, but I was so tired that I turned around and slept one more night in Point Noir. And the next day I woke up and I was super dizzy. So I knew, oh, something's wrong again. So I went to the hospital, and there they told me that they want to keep me. In the end, everything turned out fine, let's call it this way. And when I was released, I went to the pharmacy, and there was a woman with her boy in the hospital. They also came at the same time when I came, and those two visited me every day. I mean, my French is so small that we could hardly talk, but it was just heartwarming that they came to my place and just said, you know, hello, comment ça va? And like, how are you? And yeah. And at the pharmacy, I met them again, just by chance. And there we had the possibility to make a picture. Yeah, they were great. And then I stayed a few more days in my accommodation before I continued to Cabinda. Cabinda belongs to Angola, but it's not connected to its motherland. So there is a short strip in between them, and this is the Democratic Republic of Congo. That's the other Congo, the bigger one, also known as Congo-Kinshasa. A good thing in Cabinda is that the fuel is really cheap, but with the same problems of smuggling and availability. And in Cabinda you have to decide if you take the ferry from Cabinda to Angola or if you go through DRC. And I decided to go through DRC because I thought it's just a very short trip. And boy, can I tell you, if I would have known what was in front of me, I would have taken the ferry. I was not ill anymore, but I was definitely not fit. And so I entered DRC, and the roads were they were definitely not paved. There were a lot of sand roads. Man, it's more difficult to drive them. It takes more energy.
Impact! Shit! See what I mean? Okay. Damn it!
I don't have the power to lift it anymore. I gotta make a break in this fucking sun. Nothing, no cover. Hello again. I think if I do this smart, I don't have to lift it. So let's go for it. Shit. Oh wow! I'm so blessed that I have leather hand gloves. Damn it. Well, you see, when you get tired, you make a lot of stupid mistakes. Okay. Hey, Brad, you're gonna stick in there. You got me? You're gonna stick in there. Back where you belong to. I need you later, otherwise I'm gonna have a hard time. Welcome to the Democratic Republic of Congo. See, up and down again. Isn't that beautiful when she makes a nap? I also made myself a little area to rest with shadow. Oh, so no one's around. I think that's a good thing because I have my peace. I'm gonna rest a little bit more. Then I'm gonna continue before giving up this piece again. Hey. Hey. Bonjour, monsieur. Okay, good. There are a lot of people around, and it seems like this is the real road now to Moanda.
At some point, the street was washed away. There was a lot of water, a lot of people were there.
Possible? Okay, merci. C'est bon?
Donner l'argent. Viens, me donner l'argent, toi. Viens.
Go. Okay.
Mets-toi là-bas, mets-toi.
And in the end, I wanted to give the guy some money for his guidance, or at least they would have picked me up if I would have fell. But you know, all of them wanted something, so the crowd was going crazy. Afterwards, I drove to the harbor and talked to the guys how much it is and did a little bit of scouting, and decided to go over the river the next day because it was already getting dark and I didn't want to arrive on the other side in a boat with my bike when it's dark, looking for a little camp spot near the river.
I did a little bit of digging. I hope this fits my tent. Here we are again. Here we are. It wasn't that easy to get up here, but I have quite a nice view. I mean, I can back there is the Atlantic Ocean, and if we switch to the other side, we have the Congo River, and behind that is Luanda. And no, I mean, yeah, Angola. I was absolutely not expecting to happen to have those experiences I had today. I thought like the Congo River crossing will be very interesting. Yeah, I would say you can feel that the Democratic Republic of Congo is very different than Cabinda, Angola, or let's say Republic of Congo. And oh, I made myself beans with the red, like don't forget to look that you can easily open it, and yeah, now it's burning there. So
and in this moment I was so done that I totally forgot that I have a can opener on my multi-tool, and I forcefully opened the can with the knife.
And fire. Whoa.
Got to the beach again, and first problem was getting the bike on the little ship.
Oh fuck.
Then it took about 1.5 hours to cross the river. I mean, it's a huge river, and also there were some checkpoints. And on the other side, I really thought I made a huge mistake, and we will not get the bike out. But viele Hände, rasches Hände. A lot of helping hands, fast ends. It worked way better than I expected. When I arrived in Angola, I decided to go fast to Luanda, its capital. So I stayed there with Juliet and Luis, and I booked the cheapest room like I usually do. And after one night or something like that, Luis came to me and said, you will get an upgrade, you pay the same price, but you need air conditioning. And he was so right, because I was so done. And I managed to get a little bit energy back there. And there was also a garage nearby. And Marcos gifted me a better chain. It wasn't new, but it was way better than my chain. Thank you for that. So the more south I got, the more it started to rain. And it's okay while I'm driving, even if I prefer it not to rain while I'm on a motorbike. But I really don't like it when I'm camping and it rains. I also had one of the best street kitchen moments.
Look at this beautiful buffet. Awesome. So they have two different kind of potatoes, sweet and the normal potato. It's really enjoyable.
Amigo.
Obrigado. This is when you get a little bit closer to paradise. A lot of potatoes wherever you look. Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. And as a dessert, you get mango. The only not so happy thing while driving a motorbike, actually I love rain, but right now, you know, it's...
And maybe because of this good food, I decided to check out a turtle farm close by.
Okay, what happened? Yeah, probably just too fast and a little bit too slippery. You know, usually when I drive with friends and then we are at the place, they always criticize me about that I spread my things too much. So, but I have to remind you, like, I'm the one who is doing the videos and cutting them, and maybe I'm just the worst driver as well because I'm sweating the most. I don't know, but yeah, right now I'm the only one. I'm waiting for the chef to come. The brake is a little bit bended, but this is not a big problem. We can bend it back. And the other thing is, this tire is actually too big. And I thought, hey, that's cool. I have more traction and it still fits. But now I see what the problem is. There is very little distance between this mud guard and the tire. So it's even easier that the mud will stick there and block it. I could feel that it's blocking already the tire, that it takes more effort to drive. Another reminder is to clean the suspension. I already have here my self-made Kircha, and if I go to the other side, it's like there's still a lot of dirt, especially up there. Let's get out of here. Yeah, and then take some water and just clean it with the hand. I think this will make it live longer. We are going into the water. This is okay. Joak and Luke are exploring the water side. That's an awesome feeling, you know, besides all the motorcycle driving, just really calm, gliding over the water. So there is one left. What about you, my friend? Hey, my friend. My little protection here, it's better than my tent. And we have two containers. They don't look like containers, maybe the one on the left side. Then two big tents, one watchtower, and back there is our friend who didn't want to participate in the race. The truth is, approximately 1 out of 1,000 make it, so you know, the others just die. So most of them we released. It's quite likely that they don't survive. So maybe he knew that he would die, or he just thought, you know what, I need a little bit more preparation and then I'm gonna make it. Well, I wish him the best. Joaquin arrived and he's ready, and I'm ready too, but more for the bed. But on the other hand, how many more opportunities do you get to be turtle, Sam Fisher? Exactly. This is going to be more heavy duty than our last mission. We were walking for hours, then we were sleeping directly on the beach, and then walking again because he wanted to show me like the big turtles, but we didn't find one. Yeah, I was super tired. I decided to make a little shortcut and visit the Labour bus and also the Colinas rock formations. And there I have to make a big shout out to Luke Moxness, because we met in front of the Nigerian embassy in Benin, but because I got malaria, he was approximately 2 weeks ahead of me, and I got a lot of really good tips from him, where to stay, what to visit, and this was just one example that I would have definitely missed without him. So Luke, thanks a lot. Before we start with Namibia, I have to say Angola was really awesome. That's also easy because I had zero expectations. I mean, I didn't even know that they speak Portuguese. Who would have guessed? But I loved it. People were awesome. I couldn't, but I don't speak Portuguese. That made it a little bit more difficult. I think this is also a reason why it's a little bit of an underdog. But I loved it. In Namibia, I remember I stayed at a place and this guy had a beautiful 1911. Nice. Beautiful. I personally would probably buy a clock. Yeah. Got another recommendation from Luke. He said there is a place where elephants are and I gotta check it out. So I went there and I remember there was a pickup driver and his truck was loaded with French and Swiss girls. Hey man, how are you doing? Oh, check.
Did you see the elephants coming up?
Have you seen them?
We saw them that side.
How far?
Maybe 5 kilometers.
5 kilometers? Ah, okay.
I went into this dry riverbed, but in the end my batteries, they were wide empty already. So I had to turn around. Even the adrenaline was pushing me, but at some point I had to admit, okay, it's better I turn around and look for a camping spot. Shortly after that I arrived in Windhoek and my bike got an oil change, oil filter, and I also got a new front sprocket, which I'm going to show you now. Yeah, this is my front sprocket. It brought me almost to the south of Africa. It looks like a screaming face. I brought this home with me. In Africa at the airport no one cared, but when I had to get another plane in, I don't know, was it Frankfurt or Munich, definitely Germany, 3 police officers approached me and then they asked me, what is this? And I wanted to tell them, well, it's a Japanese throwing star, but I didn't. So I told them it's a front sprocket of my crf300, and then he said, okay, cool memory, peace. Namibia, it's the same thing compared to Angola. It's beautiful, there's so many things to discover, and the advantage is people speak English and a lot of Germans are there, so it makes it easier for me as an Austrian to communicate with them. But my biggest problem was that after being 2 times in the hospital and there was some other medical problems as well, I just could not load my batteries up again, and therefore I missed out a lot in the south. Well, and finally we come to South Africa. I didn't spend a lot of time in South Africa. I mean, they have beautiful nature and I love the people there. They have a rough sunshine character, and what I mean by that is that they live in a harsh environment, but they have such a positive attitude. It's like, we're gonna make the best out of it, and that's inspiring. And I had so many positive encounters. I was invited, helped, treated very well. On my last day I visited Tables Mountain, Devil's Peak and Lion's Head, and of course Chapman's Peak Drive. And then I got on my plane, flew home. A few weeks later my bike arrived in Rotterdam. I picked it up there, met Tom, but that's a different story. Guys, have a good time.